Hi, in this tutorial I am going to show you how you can easily download and install Audacity, a free open source cross-platform audio software used for audio editing. First of all, go to audacityteam.org and then click on Download Audacity. Then click on Download Audacity for Windows, Mac or Linux. And after that, whether you have Windows or Mac or Linux, you choose the installer, and I will click on the 64-bit. And as you can see, it will automatically start the download. So once you have clicked on the .x file, it will start the installation process. So click on Next, Next, choose the directory for Audacity, click Next, Next, and then you can proceed with the installation. So after the installation is complete, you can launch Audacity. So click on Finish. The first thing you're going to see is this blank project, and in this video, in this introductory video, we are going to see how to use and how to navigate into the user interface and the most important settings for audio recording. So first of all, we need to set the project rate, which is set by default on 44.1 kilohertz. You can call the project rate also the sampling rate, and to make a comparison with videos, the samples in audio are like the frames for the videos. It is set on 44.1 kilohertz because it's like the industry standard, and obviously the higher you go, the more information you acquire. The thing is, human ear can't perceive such differences between the 44.1 and, for example, the highest number. So we are going to leave that on 44.1. So after you have set the project rate, you're going to set the correct input for Audacity. So in the first one, there are the audio interfaces and are MME, Windows Direct Sound, and Windows Wasapi. And we are going to leave that on MME. In the second drop-down menu, you can set the input microphone for Audacity. So I'm going to click on the Tascam DR series. It is my current microphone. The Microsoft Sound Mapper input is basically what you have on your Microsoft settings. It will take that for input. So if you, for example, put your microphone, for example, my Tascam DRX05 in your Microsoft default settings, it will take that. So there's no need to change that. Then you will need to choose between mono and stereo. It's more like advisable to record in mono. Typically, if you're recording a song or a podcast, you will need to record in mono. So we'll check on that. And then there's the output. So there's a bunch of devices. I will check mine and you're good to go. So I'm now going to import an MP3 file, but you don't want to click on open because that will open another project. So you want to go to import audio, then select the audio you want to import, and here we are. So starting from the left, we have the pause, play and stop buttons. And let's try the different buttons. So if you press this one, it will pause on the exact point you have pressed pause. And if you repress the buttons, it will start again from the same point. Because if you do otherwise, if you press on play, it will start back from the beginning. So as you can see, so The stop will bring everything back to the track, so next time you will play, it will start from the beginning. This will bring you to the start of the track, and this will bring you to the end of the track. So this is for recording, and as you can see, the shortcut is the R on your keyboard. This one is for looping, and as you can see, it appears a looping region. So you can modify the region which you want to loop. So let's say, for example, we want to loop this part. Let's click on play. It will start from the beginning, but then it will loop only this part. So let's go like, okay. So that's the selection tool. You can also press F1, and you can press whatever you want on the track, and this will play from there. So let's try it. So if you want the track to be more balanced in terms of volume, as you can see, this part is way quieter than this one. So let's see the peak right there. As you can see, the peak on the quietest part is like between -12 and -6 decibel. If we go on the loudest part, however, this will reach almost the zero. So if you want the track to be more balanced in terms of volume, what you can do is use the envelope tool, or you can press F2. And how does it work? So if you press on the track, you will see that two little dots appear, and if you click on them and drag the mouse all the way up or all the way down, you can see that the loudness change. If you drag them all the way up, it will become more louder, and vice versa. If you drag them all the way down, this will become quieter. But as you can see, it will affect the whole track. So if you want, for example, only this part to be quieter, you just need to press another time here, and this will create an envelope. As you can see here, the volume will decrease, and it will become more balanced. So now we adjust it a little bit. So now, as you can see, is a little more balanced. So let's hear the result. And as you can see, the peak now is at -6 instead of almost 0. So the next one is the draw tool. And if we zoom into the track with the zoom tool, it's this little lens icon, you will see the single samples I was talking previously about. So with this tool, you can modify the amplitude of the single samples, and this can be really useful for example, if you have a damaged audio clip or something. So yeah, that's what it is. So now we zoom out. So by the way, those are the zoom in and out buttons. This will fit the project to the width of your window, and this will do the same thing, but with the selection tool. You need to select a section, and then this will stretch it out like that to your window size. So let's stretch it out again. Okay, now the next tool is the cut tool, but as you can see, you need to select the audio for cut to use with the selection tool. So let's say, for example, we do not want this part. We need to select the part which you want to cut. And as you can see, this will paste the part immediately following the one just cut with the previous one. But let's undo this thing. Let's get back to the previous one. And yeah, so you can also press Control Z and again Control Z to undo the thing you just did. But yeah, let's say that we want to use this tool to, for example, cut the first part of the audio, which is silent. We select the part we want to cut and then cut, and this will start right away. Is the monitoring of the recording level. So as you can see, that's written here. Click to start monitoring. We click up there, and as you can see, since we put one recording channel, this will show just one of the two channels, left and right. So if you want to check if your microphone is working correctly, you can press up there. So that's the playback level of the tracks. So if you click up there, we can see the peak of the track. Now that's the input volume, the recording volume of your microphone, and this is the general output playback volume. So as you can see, it's set on 1, and it goes from 0 to 1, and as you can hear, it's really quiet. So we bring it back to 1, but beware, because this is the general playback level, so of the whole project. So then we have the copy and paste icons, so Control C and Control V. Then we have these two buttons. What do they do? They basically trim everything outside. The first one trims everything outside the selection. So we select this part, for example, press this, and as you can see, it will delete everything outside of the selection. So we do the undo thing, while the other one does the exact opposite. So if we select a part of the audio we want to silence, with this one it will silence just the part we selected. But now let's undo this. Okay. So now, moving on the left part of our audio clip, we can see that there's a drop-down menu in which we can rename our track. Then we can select the way we want to see the track. So now it's in waveform. That's the waveform. We can also see the spectrogram or both, but let's keep it on the waveform. You can also choose the color of your waveform. So you can choose like red or green or whatever you want. But let's take it back to blue. Then we have the swap stereo channel option. With this, you basically swap the right and left channel. But yeah, let's undo that. Okay, so next thing is split stereo track. And this will basically create two mono channels with the left and right channels. So we can mute and solo the track. So with the solo, it will play just the one you selected, and if you press it another time, it will enable all the tracks, while this will mute only the track you have muted. So as you can hear, we have the left and here the right channel, and this and both will create the stereo field. So if we now undo that, and okay, while the last thing is split stereo to mono, that will do the same thing as before, but it will reproduce that as mono. So if we solo the first one, that's the left channel, we are going to hear that in mono instead of just the left channel. Same thing with the right one, but now they are in mono. Yeah. So let's get back to the stereo. Okay. Then we have the format. Let's keep it on 32-bit float, and that's the sampling rate, 44.1 kilohertz. So if you want to save your project, you'll need to click right there on Save Project, or you can either press Ctrl S and choose the directory. So press Save. and this will save your project. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.